definitely not. But especially,
I mean, hey man, it's 2020. Hard to believe the whole world isn't happy all the time.
mm-hmm.
All right, so we are live. So be terrified of that, however much you want to be. And I'm just gonna
I'll
make
t-
chat be live, and then we can just get into this.
yeah, I'll tweet it out real quick if um.
To all the cool kids out there who get to hear the hot mess of a show as it actually goes live. All right, so chat is now visible. Should be
I just
visible.
should be good. I'll send my people.
Hey, Mirth, thanks for being in the chat nice and early.
Send my people your way. Should be good. I'll send.
Alright, you are sounding good, and assuming I sound fine on your end, right?
Yeah, you good.
Alright, and we can just get started into this, because, as you can tell, not a lot has happened this week, everybody, so...
Nothing's happened in a while. It's kind of...
The bar is very low, which is, like, kind of sad when you think, like, by the end of this month, a SMT game is coming out. But hey, not my territory, so not my problem.
Yeah.
Alright, so, we're just gonna jump into this, then. Hello, Hector. Alright. How's it going, everybody, and welcome to Shin Megami Tensei Network Link 192. I just realized to put 194, and I'm definitely leaving this in there. Yep, it is 192 and not 194, but hey, whatever. Either way, I'm your very organized and not dyslexic host, Spencer Presley, and joining me for today's very news-tastic podcast is Happy. Happy, how are you doing? And I have so many questions and things I need to call you out for publicly.
Alright, it's going alright, I guess. Not much, you know.
So, Happy, if people don't know you, outside of, like, the chat or the Discord or Twitter, first off, who are you and how did you get into the Persona /SMT fandom?
Alright, so most people probably know me for begging for Scramble, but if you don't, then yeah, I started around 2017. I started with Persona 5 and all that. So yeah, I just saw, like, one of my friends. I forget who it was for the life of me, but you know who you are.
He's listening to this crying, just wishing you would remember him.
Yeah. I was like, hey bro, this game's awesome. It's like, alright. Yeah, it's boring, but
I mean, hey man, for all the people out there who started with P4 or P3 or P5, like, trust me, everybody's first game is not ever going to seem the most exciting just because it's what got them into it. But I mean, could be worse. You could say I got into P5 because of Smash Brothers or something, which, like, I'm sure there's, like, honestly thousands of people out there like that. Like, yeah, just look at the Fire Emblem fan base.
Oh god. Yeah. You don't want to be that guy. Trust me.
I got into Minecraft through Smash Ultimate, so I guess I'm not really one to judge. So, started with 5. What games have you actually played, and what's at the top of your pile of shame list in terms of the series?
Alright, so I played... I went backwards on that guy. I went 5, 4, 3. I haven't played 2 and 1 yet, although I will eventually.
Mm-hmm.
And I played, for SMT's sake, I played 4 and 4 Apocalypse, and then whenever Nocturne comes out, HD.
So then we have the hard questions for you. What system are you going to get Nocturne on?
Ooh, they haven't shown the Switch version yet.
No,
right?
they will not for a reason.
Oh,
I don't think it'll be that bad, but, like, yeah, if it's anything like Scramble, they never showed Scramble until the demo footage came out.
Yeah, I'd probably say Switch, but if it's like a noticeable difference, then I'd probably do PS4.
I think they'd have to be like a new level of incompetence
Yeah.
for the Switch for a Switch port of a PlayStation 2 game to look bad, but crazier things have happened. Like, I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt. With, like, Scramble's a lot more mentally taxing than Nocturne ever is. So, like, hey, if they can make it run at 30 frames, whatever. The other question, though, so for Persona 3 and Persona 4, which versions of those did you play?
Alright. So I played Fez for 3, and then I played Vanilla 4 because I'm not. I know it's gonna upset you, but I'm not someone who owns a Vita.
That's
And
okay.
then
I've heard a lot of internet charlatans and pirates of the high sea have been playing it on this thing called the personal computer. I'm not sure what that is.
yeah, and I played Golden, like what was it, like 2 months ago from the PC port thingy. So yeah.
So, humble beginnings outside of Nocturne, because I think Nocturne's like the safe bet, like one that's up next for everyone to play, just because that's like the most feasible. Which I still think is really weird when I like say that out loud. Of like, oh my god, like the fact that every day we get closer to Nocturne coming out in the West before Scramble, like actually makes my brain melt. But all of that aside, so picking an older title, anything SMT or anything Persona, what's one that catches your interest the most?
Out of I'd say either like Devil Survivor or Digital Devil Saga.
Okay.
Is like what I'd play next probably.
So I guess without kind of really getting in too much into the main topic, because once we get into the main topic, I feel like it'd be a little harder to go back into. So I know you through hanging out and interacting with the SMTN community, but what I need to know, I guess before however you discovered us, so what led you to finally doing the Persona 5 Scramble Twitter account, and then hilariously relevant now now that we've done this, what has led you to then do the name change?
Alright, so the Twitter account, this is like it's not the best story, but so I had the idea back when New Game Plus happened. We all know that.
Oh my god. Just think that was 4 months ago. Let that sink in.
Oh. And then I think it was like, God, I don't even know when I made it. I made it like a week after the State of Play happened, I think, which I wasn't really expecting.
I'm assuming, do you mean like the first PS5 State of Play, or are we talking about like the PS4 State of Play?
One.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, I just made it then. I didn't expect to. I thought I was gonna get like 5 followers. I didn't expect like 2,000 now.
Well, that's like the funny thing about like gimmick accounts, which like I hope you don't take offense to. I mean, for lack of a better word, like it's kind of similar to the things that came out before P5S announcement thread and everything, but it's just like gimmick accounts, especially for stuff that people are really passionate about, like. You got that many followers for a reason, because like for all the people who try and clown on Scramble fans as like whiny like when people are like, oh, look at all these piss babies who can't wait for a game to come out, it's like, nah, dog, like if you look at something like the Persona 5 Scramble hashtag last weekend that was trending and think, oh, geez, that's the new break free Persona. Like, you've just totally...
I saw someone say that. I was like, come on.
Yeah, it's like, it's so different because, like, at its core, break free Persona is begging a Japanese company to listen to a Western fan base and make a game. Whereas P5S beggars are begging for a game that is out and we have no actual concrete info on its Western release.
Yeah, I was like, and it's so funny because like, you know, like I don't blame them, but like everyone was complaining about 5, and then now that 5's out, or not out, but you know,
it's been so long.
Stuff's come out. They just pretend like nothing. They didn't do anything. I'm like, really? Like, go look at yourself 2 months before that announcement happened.
Yeah, and it's like, I think people need to sort of take a step back. I was actually talking to Ozzy about this after some of the conversations came up when it was trending, in the sense of, like, you're allowed to, like, expect better from a company. Like, I don't understand, and I want to do a video about this, and I'm still going to. My weekend time just totally got zapped up, but what happened was, I need to, like, have this conversation explaining why it is perfectly acceptable to be disappointed in Atlas West for not even announcing a game, and how that's different from like port beggars or SMT5 like fans waiting for stuff, because it's like there's all these different layers and levels of stuff, and also the one I'll never get is the corporate apologist people, or like you see these people on Twitter who will be like, clearly you don't understand why Scramble's not announced, like, and like name all these reasons like why Atlas is in the right for not announcing it. And it's like there's actually no reason, like there's no good reason, and if there is, they would have given one of why the game's not announced, which is what's been so frustrating.
Yeah, like I think people mistake wanting news for like a giant like info dump. Like I don't really care. I just want like something saying it's happening, bro. Like I don't want like a full on date. Like I mean I appreciate that, but I don't want like everything, you know?
Oh yeah, 100%. And I mean like it goes back to the same thing of what we're expecting from everybody. It's like we're asking for an announcement. We're not asking for the game.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't make the Twitter account expecting Atlas to FedEx crate you a copy of the game the next day. Like,
I wish they would.
Yeah, but like, we're looking for a date. Not even a date. We're looking for an acknowledgement. They don't even have to give us a date. They can stand us up on the date. They can delay it a million times. But like, the fact that there's a difference between I want this game now is very different than I want you to talk to your fans.
Yeah. So it's just kind of this weird thing of like these are like $1 billion. Atlas isn't a $1 billion company, but
they wish.
Sega, oh, they wish. But like,
remember the very
so
seminent fact of this is depressing but very true that the Gex series has sold more than Yakuza and Persona.
Oh god. But yeah, it's like. This weird thing of like, why these people do not care. These companies do not care about you. Like, trust me. So it's just like, why are you defending them so hard?
Yeah, and I think it'll be extra interesting once the game finally does get announced, because like we all know it's going to happen eventually. But what's so funny is just like how they're going to have to come out of the gate with something really, really great, or like I've mentioned many, many times before, I think Guinness Book of World Records might need to be contacted, because I think if Scramble got announced even like tomorrow, the world's largest collective eye roll would happen, and like we would all feel it.
Trust me. Like, oh my god, like I'm not even like all the people I've talked to a lot of people on like my friend group and like Discord, like public Twitter or Persona Twitter. Just like I don't know many people who like care about this game anymore, which is like a fall on Atlas West themselves. Because like if you announced this in what, like March or April, like everyone would be excited for it, but now we're in fucking what, October, and there's still nothing.
Yeah, the summer game just looks very very out of trend. That's why I always thought it was so funny that I literally I've now been telling people this game is coming any day now for I think I really was pushing it hard after April. After April I was like, all right, there's no reason not to announce it. Let's go, baby, let's go. And it's just so funny to think of like I literally had to remind somebody. I was playing a game. What was it? I was playing some Call of Duty with Gnarly, and I literally had to remind him that Catherine came out on Switch this year. We were like, oh my god, you remember that game?
They let you know about Catherine too, bro. Like,
well, honestly, I think it's actually kind of funny. I feel like in terms of post-release talk, I think like
they haven't said anything.
Well, no, yeah, I was gonna say I feel like they probably have now tweeted more about 13 Sentinels than Catherine Full Body, which is kind of sad.
Oh yeah, I mean that game needs all the all the tweets in the world. So
yeah, like Ozzy brings up a good thing in the chat of like, yeah, in May I was telling people this game's out in July, because the last thing I had heard after reviewing Royal, I had like talked to people working on the game and they're like, July, baby, July, because like think about it, it works on so many different thematic levels as well. It's spaced out pretty well. It's a month after the rest of Asia gets it, similar to Royal. The game literally takes place in July, so like everything would have been teed up. It was before console consoles would have been out and everything else. So it's just been so funny of all the different mental gymnastics we've all been kind of explaining to ourselves of like every event. Like once I started looking at Xbox events, thinking this might be it. This is where it's like when I'm looking at the Xbox Series X, thinking how well can you run Scramble? That's how I know it's been bad.
Oh, dude, that's how you know. I'm down bad.
Yeah, so kind of going back a little bit though to the Twitter account. What was your experience from starting it and kind of seeing it blow up, leading up to recently with what led you to wanting to change the name?
So like I don't even remember I got like 200 followers in like a couple hours. So I was like, oh god, I gotta. Originally, just gonna be like the no post like every single day. That was gonna be it, and that was like.
Oh my god, I forgot. Yeah, that's what it used to. That was just what you would do. You would just do like no every day.
Yeah, and then I started gaining more followers. Like, gosh, I gotta do something more with this. So I was just like, alright, it basically was my main account for however long it existed, and then. Yeah, with the name change, I don't know, like, no, like, I just got kind of, like, bored. If someone wants to take up that account, like, make a new account right now, be my guest. I'll support you.
Enjoy typing no every day.
Yeah, but, like, I just really got, like, bored of, like, I don't know. Like,
now, I don't want to call you out too much, but if you're saying you got more bored waiting for a game to be announced than typing out an entire game script, tweet by tweet, I might need you to explain that.
I don't know if it was bored per se. I just like didn't really have interest in the game anymore.
Oh yeah, like that's been so depressing for me because like I don't honestly know. I have a lot of like other people in the content creator community really imported the game and have actually played it because like it's been so depressing for me as someone who's actually like I'm one of the few people I know who A imported it, B beat it, and am still beating the drum every day for people to like get it because like honestly like and please let me know if I'm stepping on your toes. I feel like a legitimate part of like the Twitter's origins just came from us joking about how every day I'm gonna tweet about this game till it fucking comes out.
Nah, cause like I don't even know what caused me to make. I think I sent a message in some Discord server like, hey, this would be a funny idea, and then like 4 hours later I just made it. Like whatever. Like I was still excited for the game at that time, and then now it's kind of like I'll still be excited when it comes out or it gets revealed and comes out, but like I don't even know.
It's just really depressing because I've heard so many people who either gave up on it and like the fact that there are legitimately people in the community who think the game is just not coming out, that like hurts.
That's
me personally. Yeah, like it just like they've been like literally they've been denied that hard. That they just kind of gave up on life, and it's just like, man, that fucking sucks. But then, like on the other side of things, the people who are like you, who are like, dude, I'm sick of waiting. Next gen's here. Like there are more. Like I can get hyped about Miles Morales easier than this.
Yeah, like I don't even know if we have PS5 launch. Probably not. But like,
well, that's where we got that PS4 version.
Yeah, that's so weird to me because like you got Demon Souls. And then, like, Horizon 2 on PS4.
Well, thankfully not Demon Souls. Demon Souls is, like, the only, like, saving grace I can say is, like, actually
yeah, Demon
exclusive.
Souls is, like, the only thing in that launch. So it's like, that's depressing. And then, like, well, you got Nocturne in, like, April? Someone, I don't even know. And then, I'm assuming that'll get, like, a PS5 version sometime.
Oh yeah, like without a doubt. Like it's like we're at the point now where like if I think especially this early on in the PS5's life, if something like Atelier Thyza 2 is coming to PS5 day and date, like I think anything with a sized audience can do it.
That game's localization is so funny to me too, because like what's it like a month or so?
Oh yeah, like and yeah, it just goes back to the whole point of.
I know Koei Tecmo isn't doing the localization, but like, It's so funny to me.
Well, no, yeah, that always goes to my funny thing of people being like, Atlas needs time. The pandemic's making it hard for them. And it's like, dude, like look at Koei Tecmo. Koei Tecmo is like a janitor's closet compared to Atlas and Sega, and they can get their games out almost day and date.
Yeah, like not even like Hyrule Warriors, because like obviously Nintendo's like gonna force that. But like if you look at like what was it, like Fairy Tail came out a while ago.
Yeah,
That's
actually,
like
Fairy Tail was a worldwide release, I think.
yeah. I was like, what the what's going on here?
Oh,
You know?
actually, I have to ask. What was one of the things I was going to ask? So for you, I don't think I've actually asked your opinion for it. What is your hype check for Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity?
Ooh, I'd say like maybe like an 8 or like a 9, because like I love Hyrule Warriors, but like I love Breath of the Wild, so like it was like the perfect game. But
I think people are going to be genuinely surprised at how big that game's going to blow up when it comes out next month.
oh yeah,
Especially just because the more we see, like, I legitimately just keep telling people, I'm like, yep, this game is just Scramble, but better. Like, obviously, it's going to have the story to kind of compete with and other things like that, but it's just so funny, like, all the little aspects I look at of the gameplay of, like, yep, it's got the character swapping down, it's got the different skills, it's got all these other little things for it, and just adding it in, like, a big Zelda wrapper, I'm like, oh, this game is going to sell so much better than Scramble. Now,
yeah.
now, like the interesting thing I actually wanted to ask you for, so kind of going back to like being burnt out on it, was any sort of that process a mixture of waiting and not really having an easy way to kind of play the import version? Because I know you were messing around with trying to play the emulated version.
Yeah, it's a funny story. So about oh god, I forget this guy's name. I gotta give him a shout out here. Hold on. GMT 3993. I don't know if you're watching this, but I hope you are. Yeah, this dude like came into my DMs like 2 weeks ago. I don't know when it was. He's just like, hey, I got a Switch account with the full game digitally. Like, you want it? It's like, all right. And yeah, so I've been playing it like a little bit of it. I'm at what am I at? I'm at where you meet Zenkichi for
Oh,
like the first time.
oh, hold on. Meet him or play as him for the first time?
Nah, meet him.
Oh,
Like,
okay,
I
okay.
don't know. Like, when do you get him?
You
Is it
actually
like
get him playable very, like, over halfway into the game. Like, you
oh
see him a
god,
lot in the story, but yeah, he takes a
yeah,
while to actually become playable.
oh god. I've heard he's like
He's the best.
ah,
He is, like, the
yeah,
most fun to play as in the whole game, which is not a knock to anybody else, but it's like,
yeah. I don't think I'd say like I think I gotta make like a tier list of these, but like I don't know. I'd say Makoto is like the most fun right now of like who I have. Well, I
well,
have everyone.
that makes me happy to hear that you've actually been playing the full one. So would you say you agree with my sentiment that as amazing as the demo is, because I know you replayed the demo almost as much as I did, like when you actually get your hands on the full game, you're like, oh my god, dude, the demo is shit compared to the full game. The full
Oh
game's
yeah.
way better.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd say like way better, but like it's still like maybe it probably gets way better like later on.
It is
But
one of those things that I remember, and this is not really a spoiler. Of I always get amazed at. By the way, do not worry. I have no actual Scramble spoilers. I see
yeah,
Pie Trees are worried in the chat. Will not tell you when or how anything happens, but like,
I know a lot, but
I
yeah,
remember playing a pretty like almost halfway into the game story or so for the first time, and after one of the bosses, I unlocked a move, and I'm like, man, this just turns the game into like Bayonetta now, and that's awesome.
oh, oh well,
So like just like so many little things that when playing it, like the variety keeps up in such a nice way that even like the original Persona and Persona 5 never really had. Because I remember I was thinking recently of um, even though I like Persona 5 and Royal a lot, those palaces are so uneven in quality of like
yeah,
for things that I like, there are very few palaces that I look back on and go, "Oh man, this was great." Or like, there's definitely lots of ups and downs, hills and valleys. Whereas like Scramble, I never really have that with. Scramble just kind of keeps the pace of, like going up and up and up. There's never like a moment of like, "Oh my god, this sucks." Because even like the obligatory stuff like oh, we're going to the beach or whatever. Like even the beach level stuff finds interesting ways of kind of mixing it up and not just making it feel like, because like as much as like whether you love or hate, let's say like the trip to Hawaii in Persona 5, that drags down the game because there's like no gameplay for like an hour when you get to Hawaii. Whereas like the beach segment in 5 is like one of the coolest levels in the game.
Oh god, there's a beach palace in the.
That's the best part. I'm not gonna say yes or no, but it's the jail cell / palace when you are in the beach area.
Keep on forgetting they're called jails, but yeah. Oh yeah, I haven't even beaten fuck, what's her name? The first one.
Oh, Alice.
Alice, yeah.
Alice is man. I think once more people like play the game in English, I think so many people are gonna be simping for Alice.
Well, yeah, she's an interesting character, but
I gotta ask this in chat, and I just have to answer. Totally not a pancake ass. Spencer, will you be picking up the Nocturne remake? Originally, I had planned to import the game with the Steelbook for Japan because I'm a big dumb Steelbook lover. But I have very little interest in actually playing Nocturne Remastered just because it has no English support. And even though I had it pre-ordered, I actually canceled my pre-order recently just because I've got like a ton of finance stuff coming up. Like within the next like month, I have my wife's birthday, obviously like rent, and then hopefully owning a PS5. So like the PS5 alone is going to be over $500, and then if you actually want something to play on it, is going to be another couple of $70.
Yeah.
Oh, although that being said, you can guarantee the day I get a PS5, I will be live streaming me playing Scramble on it and seeing if it can do anything crazy. Because it does have a frame rate mode, and if somehow the frame rate is unlocked enough, I would love it if, like, imagine, like, playing Scramble at, like, 120 frames.
Oh, God. Well, yeah, that'll be something.
But yeah, so the dumbest of dumb backwards compatibility stuff for it. So, as much as I really want to check out Nocturne and stuff for it, I just don't think I'll be able to afford it. If I can, I might just find a way to buy the Steelbook and not actually the game. But I don't know. Like, I love Nocturne and I'm really excited for Remastered. But at the same time, buying a Japanese game just to kind of dick around with when there is a new Kingdom Hearts coming out, a new system coming out, a new Yakuza coming out, Demon Souls, Spider-Man, Call of Duty, like all of these games coming out, like it's just gonna be like I've got no time, like not even time, like I've got no money for it.
Yeah, I think that's no problem with Scramble. Is like, why are you gonna release this thing now?
Yeah, like, do you have a personal guess? Because right now, I think the last time I think
this is a question, but we can go into it now.
Natural conversation flow. Like I think the last time I was asked, I said if they're smart, they'll do February because I think March is going to be Nocturne and Yakuza 7 on PS5, so I think that'll be a little bit busy. But it's just tough because I know January is already looking a little bit crowded, and I feel like once next gen systems are out, we're just going to get like more and more and more games announced.
Yeah, I'd say my guess was January, but that was like a while ago. I don't know anymore. I'd say it's definitely like sometime like early 2021. So I'd say like either January or like February would be like the good time to release it.
So for you, did you have any hope at all when we were looking at TGS as a possible?
Oh nah.
See,
I thought maybe DLC or something, but like nah, like that gameplay demo when they were doing Scramble is like the biggest eye roll I've ever done.
Mm-hmm.
It's like really, but yeah, the guy didn't even make it past the demo, so I'm just like.
And that is not a long demo.
Yeah, you got to like when like you find Sophia, and then
it's like really funny when like talking about like the demo in retrospect. The demo, when I played it, I remember I was actually really worried because the major level you get to play as is the sewers, and that sewers is the most boring PlayStation 2 ass looking level in the whole game. And I'm like, wow, like this game is very visually pretty and interesting, but like it's so funny. Like the demo's largest chunk it gives you is like, here's a new character, and yeah, you can't swap with anybody, and you get a really boring sewer that's not hard at all.
You can't even play as anyone else in that sewer. You can only play as the Joker, so it's just like...
Like, I remember when I was doing rounds with the demo of, like, when I'd want to play it a lot, but I wouldn't want to just do the sewer over and over. I would mess around in that first fight, because until you do a showtime, they'll just keep spawning enemies infinitely.
Oh, yeah. That's actually cool. I just ripped that thing out immediately, but... Yeah.
So... I'm trying to think of I know we get asked this, but just because we're kind of on the topic of DLC for it, do you think by the time we get the game in the West, it's just going to be the same game in Japan, or do you think they're actually going to make it like the Extreme Legends Eggs Benedict version?
Something tells me it's gonna be that Extreme Legends version, but I can see them pulling just the normal version. Because Atlas.
What would you want them to like add to it to, at least in some way, make it better?
I know the obvious is like Akachi and like Kazumi and like that stuff, but like, I'd say like, I know people want Futaba playable. That'd be kind of cool. I don't know if they do that.
Yeah, Futaba playable is like kind of an interesting one of like. They'd have to really, like, get crazy with her. But, I mean, they've done it with Navigators before. Like, Rise is actually one of the more interesting characters to play as in Ultimax.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know, maybe they can do it.
Faz brings up a really great point. The different sprite art when characters are talking. Because, yeah, that's one of the weird things going back and forth from it is Royal has the different character-facing art, not just the static shots, and Scramble only uses the static shots. But I think it is alleviated a little bit just because everyone has different character art because they're all wearing different clothing.
Yeah. So, I don't really know much of like how they can make the game like maybe once I play it or once I beat it I'll have like a better idea, but like
my big one without getting into spoilers continues to be I want any way they can add 2-player. Like that's the only real major complaint I ever had back when I reviewed it back in March was I really loved it, but man, the fact that it's single player only does kind of damper it a bit just because I love playing stuff 2-player so much, and especially now I've been going back and replaying the original Hyrule Warriors, and I'm getting so excited that Age of Calamity is kind of taking that Scramble formula and then adding co-op to it. Shows me that it can be done, but it's just probably a lot harder.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. It's like you gotta get like really creative to get that co-op. So
well, and especially because now that you've played it, you can kind of get what I mean of it's like Scramble is surprisingly platform heavy.
Yeah, that's fine.
And the last thing you ever want to do in a 2-player game is have to watch someone do platforming and then you follow them on platforming.
Oh yeah, but yeah, thank God they have the cursor thingy all the time because I would 100% get lost.
It's It's so funny how, in so many little weird ways, Scramble not only takes elements from the world of, like, P5 and stuff, but also goes into, oh, we're just going to, like, make this better, or we're going to kind of make this a little bit more fun and stuff of, like, I think there's a really easy way they could have added the social elements of P5 and made it really boring. But the fact that, like, the social hub is pretty tiny, but without feeling like you can't do anything is really, really nice. And, like, you never get to the point of, like, oh my god, it's really, really boring. Like, just, like, little things always, like, surprised me of, like, once you actually start your road trip proper after that first jail, it's so nice going to all the different cities around Japan and just, like, seeing all these different, like, famous landmarks and just, like, throughout your road trip. Because, like, the game totally nails the road trip vibe in a way that I don't know. I feel the marketing never really super leaned into that much in Japan. They were very much so, look, it's an action game. Look, it's the sequel to P5. Like, I'm a basic ass white boy, and like I'm not gonna lie, one of the reasons I love Final Fantasy 15 at its core is because it's 4 dudes on a road trip, and like just the Phantom Thieves on a road trip is enough to sell me on it.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I'd say, like, I know it's funny, like, in Japan, they're like, that survey back in, oh god, was it June, I think? They're like, where do you want to go? And it was just like, out of Japan. It's like,
And then they're like, I didn't hear you. I think you said Tokyo again. Great choice. That's it. That's their next game. Like, watch by some hellish nightmare, Project Refantasy is going to be like ancient Japan by some nightmare.
Oh god, yeah. They kind of deal with like the Hawaii trip, but like I want like actual playable, like, I don't know, bring me to like New York or something. I don't really care.
Oh yeah, that would definitely be interesting, especially because like the I don't know if you've looked at many of the interviews that the director of Scramble did, but the director of Scramble legit was like, "Hey, if I do a sequel, I'd want to leave Japan. Like, we'd want to like go to different places and like just thinking of it, like they actually made it like a caper, like a proper Loop on the Third. Like just imagining like having to go to the Louvre in France or like Times Square, just like different stuff like that would be like so easy for them in the kind of formula that Scramble is set up in. Although, that being said, I can immediately see, like, I know people, just like when they see non-mainline games get announced, are really, really big crybabies. But, like, it sucks that, like, in my head, if Scramble 2 got announced, I know there'd be so many people who are like, oh, can we just let Persona 5 die? But, like, what sucks about it is, like, because people in the West haven't played it, they don't really understand like why people like me are so vocal about it. Like, I legitimately think Scramble is the best spin-off or non-mainline game the series has ever done, which I do not say lightly, because before it used to be Dancing All Night. But like on top of that, like it just does such a good job as a sequel on its own and still like sets up stuff so perfectly of like it does the perfect thing of it's a sequel that doesn't undo what made Persona 5's ending special and still leaves the door open for either that being the true ending or them like meeting up a couple of months or years later.
Yeah, I do kind of hope if they do a Scramble 2, they like kind of like make it like a year or so. It's like, it's cool to see them in like new outfits and like what 3 months, 4 months later, but like
I like low key was a little sad though that they only have new outfits in the real world. It would have been really cool if they like went all in and like gave everyone new outfits, because like one of the tiny complaints I do have though is there's no costumes at all throughout the whole game. You just, when you're playing, you're always in that preset costume. So it would have been kind of interesting to see, like, how do you make a summer variant of someone like Haru or Ryuji and stuff like that? That would have been really, really cool.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool, boy. Well, yeah, I do hope they like, because the coolest thing about the Golden epilogue is like seeing them like, it's not even that long. It's like a couple months, but like they all like have different like appearances. So it's just like I want that. You know?
Like that's why. That's what like I really like about where Scramble starts. It gives you that Golden epilogue vibe that I love, because like one of my favorite parts about Dancing All Night, even though it takes place after Golden's epilogue, it's just like there's that immediate camaraderie of we're not meeting people anymore. We're not like everyone already knows like who their friends are. Like they're not really adding like a crazy amount of people. Whereas like when you're starting a base game like that where you're meeting new party members every couple of hours, you kind of feel like you're going through the same paces of meet a boss, meet a new ally, beat the boss, rinse and repeat. Whereas like this never happens in any of the spin-offs because they're already all they're already all set up and they have their dynamic and stuff, which is so fun.
Yeah, because like the reason I want P5 Arena so bad is just to see the P4 cast, like, you know, like adults now.
Oh yeah, like look at Ultimax. How like people were so crazy hyped when the characters from 3 were on Ultimax. Like seeing a grown-up Junpei as like a little league coach was like so like rewarding.
Yeah.
Let me try and think. Oh, by the way, Gideon West, Kasumi for Scramble 2, I find it really funny of, like, how people will be, people will say stuff like, oh, Scramble can't really do anything from Royal because it's based off vanilla, not Royal. It's like, even if that was true, like, I've played, like, the game, there's never a point where they're like, boy, it sure is a shame, it sure is a shame that redacted name is an Uber driver now. I wonder what Uber drivers doing these days. And it's like, no, like, at any point, they could completely do it, which is so funny. And actually, my personal takeaway from it is, if you've seen the ending of Royal, that ending makes more sense as why they would be doing a road trip in Scramble, because in the vanilla version of P5 they all end the game by like taking a road trip back to Ren's house, but like why would you do two road trips in one summer, one to his house and then he comes back and then you guys do another separate road trip? It's like really weird.
Yeah, I think like No Kazumi is like kind of opening up this weird thing of like, is Royal canon or not? Which like
honestly,
obviously
I lean on the no Kasumi as meaning Joker is continuously a terrible boyfriend, and like she's just at like gym practice or whatever all camp, and he just never checks up on her. It's just it's like I like Kasumi a lot, but it's just so funny of like Kasumi is Kasumi is the Poochie of Scramble. They can write her out with one line of dialogue. It'd be like, just look at how like terrible they handle Kasumi in Royal, of like, why is Kasumi not playable until the very, very, very last dungeon in the game? I don't want to. And then she just leaves the camera. So it's like, her not being there is like a bigger thing for it. And I think like honestly one of the big ones for me, again, not really getting into spoilers, but talking about like what they could add that would make so many people so hyped, do like a epilogue or like kind of a extra one-off mission of like what the hell is Akechi doing in the summertime, or like something like that, of like even just like if it's a canon or not canon, like little one-off scenarios, something like that would be like so fun.
yeah, especially like that deleted. Have you seen the deleted scene of the Akechi and Royal,
Mm-hmm.
of like him at like the rehab center?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that makes sense, like why he isn't there now. But like now that that's deleted, it's just like this odd thing.
Yeah.
Of, like,
So
why isn't he here?
yeah, it's I mean, and obviously, like, they give themselves the kind of, like, opportunity to, like, either acknowledge it later if they want or not. I still, in my gut, feel if we're ever going... Like, I legitimately think Persona 5, in terms of, like, getting spin-off series or, like, support like that, I think Atlas has shown that unless it's mainline Persona, they had a really hard time making any money back. The anime was a failure, even in Japan and in the West. Dancing was a pretty big failure for them. Scramble, surprisingly, is the like biggest hit out of all of them, and even I'm forgetting Q2. Q2 was also a financial failure, just for like a lot of other obvious reasons. But I think if they wanted to like end the series, I think they like my gut just like tells me they would do one last game, whether it be Scramble 2 or something totally different. And it would be like just focused on a actual post Royal epilogue, whether that's like post Royal, post Scramble. I don't super know, but I feel like there's enough stuff tied up that they could get away with like one more. So like I don't know how you feel, because obviously now we're getting into like fan theory kind of stuff for it. So if you had to get one last P5 game before the series is basically kind of walked into the sunset like Dancing was for Dan, would you want it to be like another Royal situation where they just add on to the existing P5 formula, or do you think it'd be better to just give the Scramble team one more game to really knock it out of the park?
I'd say do Scramble 2 if you're doing P3 and P4, but if you're not, then do Arena, cause like I don't know what's going on with Arena.
I mean, Arena is like so tragic because Arena 1 sold very, very well. For the longest time until Scramble, actually, Arena was the second best-selling spin-off in the series. But what's so funny about that is Arena, I feel like everyone wants it to happen, but Arc System Works is obviously like the only one that the fans want, and they just don't have the time. They're just too busy, dude.
Yeah. Like, I I don't know, like, I don't really care who makes it as long as the game's good, but like,
No,
if they're
don't say
doing
that. You say that, and we get Jump Force
Oh yeah,
making it. Come on, you can't say anybody. Spike Chunsoft is not allowed to touch a Persona game.
Not them, but like, yeah, I do hope if they will do Arena, they bring back the 2D, because I do not want 3D. That's gross. I don't want that. I
Just
want
3D Arena Fighter. I'll say this. If we have to get 3D, I will allow CyberConnect to make a Arena Fighter. It would be very simplistic, but it would at least be fun. I trust the Storm games.
Yeah. So yeah, if they're gonna do Arena, do Arena. If you're not doing Arena, do Scramble with, or just basically do what Scramble 1 was gonna be. It's like P5 or P4, P3.
Now,
so, like, do that.
Imagine how horrifyingly confusing this would be to explain to people. If Arena is the last spin-off and it takes place in a post-Royal and post-Scramble world. Okay, so if you want the story, you have to play Royal, not Vanilla, because Royal is going to give you the real ending, but just make sure you do all the prerequisites or else you've wasted 80 hours of your life. Then you're going to go on the road trip with this Dynasty Warriors spin-off, but it doesn't actually play like Dynasty Warriors, and then once you finish this game, then you're going to have to go into the 2D fighting game, and the 2D fighting game is the real ending of the whole series.
Oh god. Yeah. Yeah, it depends what situation. I don't know what's going on in Arxis and Atlas over there, but
I mean, the fact that anyone at Atlas, I don't know. I'm trying to think of this is an insult, but I'm also trying to think of a way that this is like not like too dumb. Think about it like this. Atlas gave the license for their character models and sprites for one of the worst Arc System games ever, known as BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle. If they let Cross Tag Battle have the Persona license and they never suffered any punishment, I think it's safe to say that they'd be willing to let them do anything.
Yeah, wasn't P5 Arena based off how well that game did? Or am I?
No, that wouldn't be, what is it? That wouldn't be like a situation of it, because Atlas published Arena, but Arc System published Ultimax themselves, even across the whole world.
Oh, really? So, yeah, everyone's going after you for saying.
Boo Boy, and Vinicti. Also, sorry, Mark. I know BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle has its fans. I know people say that, like, it's a fun game, but we have to be honest. Like, we have to be honest. Cross Tag Battle is legitimately a worse Mugen. It's just taking all of their assets and throwing it into a game engine. If you enjoy playing this game, that's great. Like, our system, like, at its core, it's not a terrible game. But, like, when you're looking at it realistically, this is a game that they only made, like, maybe a top 6 characters for, and they just ripped out the sprites from 4 other games.
Oh, yeah. Like, I haven't played Cross Tag, so I can't say if it's bad or not. But...
Oh my god. SSBB64. If Persona 5 Arena just looks like Dragon Ball Fighter Z or Guilty Gear Strive, I would legitimately cream my pants on a live stream. Like, I would be I remember when I saw Guilty Gear, because remember, Guilty Gear Xrd is on Unreal Engine 3 and looked stupid good. And then their first Unreal 4 game, I think, was actually Fighters. When I saw Fighters at that E3, I was like, no way it looks this good. And then, like, just looking at how, like, because I don't care about Grand Blue Fantasy, but, like, even Grand Blue Fantasy Versus looks insane. Like, when Arc System Works is like when you give them a budget, that studio kills it. They absolutely kill it.
Yeah. watch P5A look better than Guilty Gear Strive. I hope not, but see what happens with that.
Honestly, I don't think, like, Cross Tag Battle is at fault for one specific reason. I think also a part of it is I just think that BlazBlue team just kind of needed to take a step back still, and I think they wanted to do something with a more fresh approach, and they were just burnt out of working on BlazBlue for like 9 years in a row. But at its core, Cross Tag Battle is just Blaze Blue with other characters crossing over to. Which is weird because I think with crossover fighting games, like, I don't know, like, Happy for you, are you very much into other fighting game genres?
I've played, like, the only fighting games I've played are, like, Smash and, like, P4 Arena, so...
But, like...
I'm not...
Like what I'm getting at with it is, like... Crossovers or even, like, tag team games should just be, like, an immediate knockout. Look at Tekken Tag. Tekken Tag is so much fun to play. We'll say what you will about, like, the gym system. At its core, Street Fighter Cross Tekken was a fun game to play. Like, there's a reason, like, people love Mortal Kombat and Injustice when they add all the crazy guest characters. Like, usually whenever anyone is crossing over, like, that's what makes it, like, so special, no matter really how it plays. Like, just look at Arena and Ultimax. Like, Persona 4 Arena doesn't need to have the 4. In fact, it's actually stupid that it has the 4, but I understand why. Because it's like, yes, they can't call it Persona 34 Ultimax. That would sound dumb. But, like, it's just one of those things if there is just as much Persona 3 in the world of Persona 4.
Yeah, that's like... And then even more if you do P5 Arena, you do P3, P4. It's like... Yeah. Might as well move the 5 at that point.
Also, all right, just to be nice and say one thing at least positive, that is true. Mark Louis does say Tag Battle is not the worst Mugen game. That is true. Mugen is a open concept. I am sure there is, like, some Bible Fighters game out there that is much worse than Cross Tag Battle. In terms of Mugen games that you have to pay money for, though, I think it is up there. Cross Tag Battle is probably up there with Street Fighter V as biggest waste of disappointment. No, what is it? Biggest disappointments of wasted potential. Because I remember, like, in terms of... Because, like, think about it. Cross Tag Battle, especially as someone like me who built so much of the SMTN community out of Ultimax, I should be simping Cross Tag Battle so hard. But, like, do you remember when they announced that game's DLC, how, like, turned off everyone got? Like, when you bought that game, you had another $60 of DLC to buy just in characters.
Oh, yeah. Like... Yeah, I don't only play Cross Tag for the P4, like P3 stuff.
Also, I did give them an ultimatum. If they ever added in Show Me Nezuki, I would have bought the game no matter what, and they're cowards, and they stopped.
Yeah, it's kind of unfortunate they ever did.
Like, think about it. We can't let Show
Ultimax.
Me Nezuki's last game be fucking Dancing 5 and 3. That's just... I can't let history end this way.
Well, yeah. I also want to see more Labras too, but I don't know if that's ever gonna happen.
Wait, I thought they did add Labras. Was Labras not added in Season 2 of Cross Tag Battle?
I think she was.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. I was like, I thought she was. Now, can I actually spell Labras? Yes, Labras is in Cross Tag Battle. Brooklyn Accidental.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think it's just the Arena Ultimax stuff that isn't in Cross Tag.
Boo Boy says, show coming back for P5 Arena. That would actually be really funny, especially...
I think it would.
Especially for the fact of, I don't know if you remember this, but way, way, way back, like I'm talking like, I think 5 or 6 years ago now, when they announced Persona 5 and Dan, they had 2 new trailers for both at the Persona Live event. It was like this 2-day event. On a newspaper, one of the earliest character pictures we ever saw for Joker is literally a face model rip. Like someone, whoever's job it was to do that illustration of Joker, it is the exact same structure and grin that Joker is making that Show Me Nezuki does. And it is the funniest thing ever, because like they just copied themselves, so it's like whatever, no one's gonna care. But it would just be so funny if like they make some sort of joke about like Show kind of looking like Joker, especially also the fact that like it's very clearly obvious that they were going to add Joker into Ultimax, but they just pulled out the DLC budget last minute.
Yeah, that would have been like, what's wrong with that? They had revealed Joker by that point, right?
Ultimax. No, Ultimax's DLC came out just a little bit before that trailer, I think, because they had grander plans for DLC, because I started the game with 2 DLC characters. Arena never had any DLC characters, but like if I'm remembering correctly, Ultimax gave you Adachi and Marie, and they were planning on adding in to a it was supposed to be like a promotion for okay, so this is kind of like inside baseball dumb stuff, but hey, whatever, I guess I'll talk about it. So, do you remember how in Japan, when Dancing All Night came out, it came with a DVD trailer, sorry, it was a Blu-ray, for Persona 5?
Yeah.
Okay, so one of the promotions around that era was, let's tie everything into Persona 5 that's existing. And one of the promotions was going to be, if you pre-ordered Persona 5 or bought the DLC pack, you got to play as Joker in Arena before the game was out. And in Ultimax. And they basically got pulled. Like, the character, to my knowledge, got to the point of, obviously the announcer VO lines are in the game, but they got to concept art, and they never actually finished any sprite art at all, which... Honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, like, oh, would have been so cool to see, like, what, like, a sprite base, especially because, like, Beta Joker looks different. Like, he's got a couple of visual differences from initial release, so it would have been kind of cool to, like, have that, like, not really finished look yet.
Yeah. Especially with, like, I'm guessing it's, like, how much P5 got delayed, that they kind of, like... kind of work around that.
Yeah, but I mean, also on top of it, Ultimax sold way, way, way under what Arena did. And so once they kind of got those initial numbers, because, hey, fun fact, Arena and Ultimax released about a month apart from each other in America and Japan. So they knew worldwide sales were disappointing pretty much from the get-go. I was actually... Another thing I was talking to Gnarly about was I was working retail when Ultimax came out, and I remember... every store, if you ever went into a GameStop, or at least where I lived, every store had about 20 copies of Ultimax, because it came in this really big package that came with a set of tarot cards and the inflatable teddy doll. And just stores could not get rid of it.
Oh, God.
So, I cannot believe we went on this long of an Arena conversation by talking about Scramble. But one of the things I want to ask before we kind of get into questions, Happy, is... so for you, let's kind of get into the main topic of last... Geez, I guess was the weekend. Persona 5 Scramble was trending on Twitter thanks to a certain somebody. For you, were you surprised when you saw hashtag... localized P5S trending?
I'm not, because, the Goodbye Girl stuff, that was good, but I'm like, alright, let me try to do this. So, I just did, like, hey, tweet this, and then Ozzy got on, and was like, yo, if this trends, I'll sing, You Are Stronger, and it's like, alright, now we gotta do it.
Still waiting on it. Any day now.
Yeah, I'm still waiting. But, yeah, so, yeah, I think it was trending for, like 2 hours or something, but it was up there. There's a picture in history.
So, for you, kind of looking at that sort of moment in time on Twitter, obviously, something trending on Twitter, it doesn't necessarily mean, like, no one... when we saw that it was trending on Twitter, actually expected Atlas to react to it, because God forbid they do. but like, I think one of the things I really loved about it actually trending was just the fact that it showed that obviously there is demand for this game to get localized, and there's just no real, kind of going back to our main point of, like, there being no real reason. And I only say, at least from what I saw of, like, throughout the day and other people's reactions, I think it was overwhelmingly more people saying, hey, we need, like, there's no reason to not just announce or localize this game. Like, I didn't see that much people being like, nope, never gonna happen.
Yeah, it's like, I've gotten a lot of those, like, it's never gonna happen, which is, like, that's just kind of, like, I know I mentioned this earlier, that's just kind of sad, but, yeah, well, it's just, like, obviously Atlas is, I'm sure someone at Atlas saw that, but, they're not actually gonna, like, respond to it,
No, because God forbid the company who started the edgiest edgelord of Sonic the Hedgehog Twitter use Twitter for communicating. But hey, that's such is the life that is 2020 Atlas, I guess.
Oh yeah, but
another thing that with it trending that kind of, I guess, kind of disappointed me was the amount of people who, going back to thinking the game's not going to come out, the amount of people who think that the game wouldn't get localized. I was very surprised about. Like, I forget who says it in the live chat earlier, but somebody mentioned, listen guys, if we get Persona Q2 in the year 2019, there's no reason for us not to get Scramble. It's very true. But it was just one of those things of like, and I think it was Mirth who said this in the chat as well, of like, Scramble is just such a marketing slam dunk. Like, they would have to include, like, they'd have to include Mein Kampf as a pre-order bonus to make this game fail. That's how confident I am it's like that good.
Yeah, it's like just say it's Persona 5 too, like they did in Japan, and there you go. You got instant copies.
So, I'm trying to think of any other kind of takeaways from it being on Twitter that you kind of saw or whatever that you had any major like thoughts for. Because like I said, for the most part, it was like positive. It was like a fun kind of way to like blow off steam in terms of like, hey, whatever. I think it was like Friday or Saturday night, right?
I think it was. Oh God, I don't know. I think it was Saturday, but who knows? It was sometime.
So, I guess before we get into questions, I have a weird thing for you, just because I don't think you've ever asked me this before, but for you, if you had any questions for me, or just in general, about the localization project of Scramble, what would like a couple of your questions be? And I'm 99% sure I would be able to answer them, if not give you a good or bad answer.
I can't draw it. Okay, when would you expect it to come out?
100% before summer of next year. There's no way it takes like the full summer to summer release date.
Yeah, that'd be embarrassing.
Like actually embarrassing.
It's like, it's already embarrassing, I know, but like if you're doing a whole year and a half, dude, like come on. But yeah, I don't know. It's like.
Julie R in the chat mentions Persona 5 Scramble dubbing. If you listen to last week's episode of the podcast that I did with Keith, you may notice I did not ask him about Scramble directly. So if I didn't ask him about it on the record, and you're seeing his company has worked on every other Persona game, there might be a couple of lines to connect there.
Oh yeah, sure, but like, it's weird thing of like the 25th Persona is next year, like that's like the perfect time to drop it, kind of. But
it's funny, it's like it's perfect for America, I guess, but then at the same time,
yeah.
Atlas in the West has never celebrated those anniversaries, really.
Yeah. I mean, Atlas Japan didn't even tweet about the anniversary, like,
but like
a month ago.
But like, think about this. When Persona 5 came out in Japan, it was the 20th anniversary of the series. And then they never even took out... They didn't even change the opening for the game when it came out on the 21st year anniversary. So it's like, okay, I guess, whatever. But I mean, hey, Persona 5's delays were 10 times fold, so whatever. But what's so funny about it is... Like, just look at... It's like, look at Scramble if it came out next year to celebrate the 25th anniversary. It's like, look guys, this game that got finished in 2019 is now releasing, 2019 is now releasing. Because remember, Scramble was finished, like, development was finished by December of last year. Like, the game was done 2 months before it even came out in Japan. So it'd just be like extra funny to be like, hey, we've made this spin-off kind of celebration for it. Because like, what's funny is like it works, because actually Persona 5 Scramble has honestly a stupid amount of Easter eggs and references to SMT in Persona 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So, like, it works as a celebration game, but, like, Japan isn't really going to look at it as something to celebrate. And I think unless, like, they have some crazy ace up their sleeve with the anniversary year, I don't think we're going to get anything that crazy outside of Persona 4, Persona 3, and maybe something else getting ported to current day systems. Like, my current rumblings have basically been Persona 4 and 3 and a Q collection are going to get ported to consoles and PC, and that's going to, like, kind of be part of their, hey, look, we're bringing things out to other systems initiative, / here's a really cheap way for us to celebrate the anniversary year.
Yeah.
Which,
like,
God forbid, by the way, like, because honestly, anything to make Persona Q2 look profitable, I think that game needs it.
Yeah, it's like Q2's in, like, a weird spot of, like how are you gonna translate that to the Switch, you know? It's like, and with Etrian Odyssey itself, I guess.
I mean, I think it's pretty easy as long as they have, like, a toggleable map feature, or they could probably even do something like an auto map thing, you know? Just because, like, Persona Q looks really good already on the DS, and that's, like, running at below 420p. So, like, if they can actually get HD assets... Well, what I mean if they can... Like, if you look at Persona 5 Royal, they have HD quality assets for those models. So, like, they've already probably put in some groundwork to make those ports happen.
Oh, yeah. I feel bad for whoever had to make that Kazumi one.
Yeah, I remember tweeting that out. I thought that was so funny. Like, think of some poor bastard at the Etrian Odyssey studio. He had to make a costume for a character who's not even in his game.
Oh my god.
Like, when is the last time that's ever happened? Be like that's like, imagine, like, if Miyamoto went up to somebody on, like, Breath of the Wild and they're like, hey, can you, like... No, here's a much meaner thing, but this is true. That'd be like if Sakurai went up to someone working on Smash Ultimate and said, hey, do you mind taking a render of Geno and making him an actual character model? No, it's not for Smash. We're putting it in Mortal Kombat 12. Yeah, Geno's coming to Mortal Kombat. Like, that would be that level of mean.
Oh my god, yeah. Sure you think, like Q2 should have been, like, and dancing, I guess. That should have been out after Royal, but the world we live in, unfortunately.
Yeah, now that I've said this, what's actually going to happen is Persona 3, 4, and 5 Dancing will be coming to Xbox One, PC, and Switch, and that's all you guys are going to get next year.
Oh, God. Oh, jeez. That'd be funny.
I mean, legitimately, it would be hilarious just for, like... just for, like, the fact of, like, I think that might actually break Atlas Twitter. At least in terms of, like, I don't think they'd know what to complain about if that actually happened.
Oh, God. We already got enough stuff to complain about, but, yeah, like, I don't know. Like, I think Scramble would be, like, on PC eventually.
Oh, no, I've been telling everybody, yeah, like, when Scramble does come out, unless Atlas puts their foot down and says, no, I don't like money, Scramble is going to launch on PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X, Switch, and PC. Like, there's no reason it's not, because, like, their engine is more flexible than, like, Rise in the summertime, or whatever dumb pun I'm gonna make. Like, that game... I'm telling you this just right now. That game is running on a PC. Like, that game has a PC port. I don't know how far along it is in development, but that PC port exists in the world somewhere.
Oh, God. Some poor soul at Koei Tecmo's gotta be making that.
Let's be real. If you had to think, do I want to work on Dynasty Warriors 9 on PC, or do I want to work on Scramble on there? It'd be like, oh, just give me anything. Anything besides Dynasty Warriors 9, please.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Well, on that hilarious and depressing note, do you want to knock out some questions with me, man?
Sure.
So this one I'm actually really curious about. This comes from Robert Bruce on the Facebook group. He said, what is your favorite part or thoughts on Persona 5 Royal?
Ooh, my favorite part? I'd say say like Akechi, like himself, is just like the obvious one, but yeah, I'd say like I just like the third semester in general, but like especially like Akechi. Like I have the biggest like love-hate relationship with Akechi I think ever, but yeah, I'd say just like I don't really like Akechi before Royal, and now I like actually like him. So
Yeah, it was funny when I finally beat Vanilla. I was like, why is Akechi like such a meme? Like he's not like that fun or great of a character. Like he has potential, but they really just like his storyline just ends on like such like a just downer. It's like, okay, thanks for totally wasting this character's potential. And then you look at how they handle him in Royal, and I'm like, oh, so this is what happens when competent storytellers work of it. Okay.
oh yeah, definitely.
I guess kind of on the opposite, just because I'm curious. I won't answer just because I've complained about it so many times. Were there any negative or lowlights for you when playing Royal at all?
Any lowlights? I would say Kazumi to be funny, but I think that's being a little too rude. So I'd say, any lowlights? Can't really think of anything off the top of my head. I'm sure there's something that I just like don't like out of the new stuff.
You want to talk about a really quick news story that got me so triggered? In dumb Persona 5 news of merchandising. Oh my god.
Oh, that T?
No, not the T, although it would be really funny to make the dumb fucking here's that mother effing T joke now. So, they just announced a Persona 5 Royal themed playing card deck, and the dum-dums didn't even take the cards from Tycoon. There is a whole card game with themed Persona cards, and they couldn't just print the Tycoon deck like I had imagined.
That's my biggest disappointment right there. You can't play Tycoon online.
Tycoon online, I would actually turn into it. Like, this is a legitimate thing. If we ever got Tycoon online or found out a way to play Tycoon online, I mean, actually, technically, I guess you could because it is on Tabletop Simulator. But again, I don't know what PCs are or how they work, and they scare me. So what's so funny is like, what's so funny about Tycoon is like, I bet if we had enough of a slow day on ESPN, we could get Tycoon on ESPN 8.
Oh my god. Yeah.
So yeah, like my number one goal is once conventions finally happen, again, is I'm just going to make my own Tycoon deck and have everyone start playing it.
I'll be salting.
Next question is more of a thing we already kind of talked about with Nocturne Remastered. Stephen Yip says, is anyone else pre-ordering or importing the special edition from Japan of Nocturne Remastered? Yeah. Like the big one with like the nightlight and all the like crazy soundtracks?
I wish I could.
I turned it down, like, even before I canceled my regular pre-order. That special edition just does nothing for me. Like, it's cool from, like, a weird merch perspective, but, like, outside of the CD and the nightlight being a thing, like, I'm like, nah, I'm good. All the LaRues of the world can pick it up 9 times over.
Yeah, especially knowing what we'll get here.
Yeah, especially because, like, I guess kind of if we had to turn this into a question, like, I think we will be lucky if Nocturne Remastered gets a Steelbook edition as, like, a pre-order bonus, like Royal, and nothing else. Like, there's no way we're getting a collector's edition for that game.
Oh, yeah. I'd say maybe, like, just, like, a Steelbook and, like, nothing else, really.
I actually asked...
I wish we got that Scramble collector's edition here, because I'd buy that.
I really wonder, do you think they're going to, like, are they brave enough to give Scramble a collector's edition? Because, like,
I'd say...
I guess they did it for Q2, so again, it goes back... Yeah. We need to just put this on a t-shirt. If Persona Q2 can do it, then anyone can do it.
Yeah. I think it'd get something, even if it's different.
What would be something that would actually disappoint you, though? Like, what would be like the, oh, way to go, Atlas West, you're really Atlas West to this.
Just give me, like... Just put, like, a Steelbook and, like, 5 songs. Like...
It would be... My thing is it would come with... even though the game is going to be called Persona 5 Strikers in the West, it's going to have...
They don't even bother changing the box.
No. Like, it's going to be called Persona 5 Strikers, but, like, all the merchandise is a pun for Scramble. So, like, it's going to come with, like, a Persona 5 Scramble, like, egg pan and, like, oven mitt. And it's like, this doesn't even work.
Yeah. I'm gonna throw on, like, a baseball bat, something.
Next up, we're going to questions from the Discord. First one is by I always mess this up, but Abi Drackers says, "Are you getting tired of Atlas at all now?"
Ooh, I'd say Atlas West maybe, but I don't know if tired's the right word. Just kind of like disappointed.
I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
Yeah. Well, basically.
We're just disappointed parents looking down at them being like, where's my video game? I'm very disappointed in you, son.
Oh, yeah.
It's been 544 days. You can't call once. You know, we're less disappointed parents. We're like needy parents who like need a phone call to check in. Atlas hasn't checked in with us in over 544 days, for God's sakes. We should oh man, here's a good bet. Everyone in chat, and this is the podcast question of the week, will we get Scramble announced before day 600? So right now, as of October 20th, 2020, we are on 544 days since Scramble's announcement in Japan and no announcement. Will we have it announced in the next 56 days?
Did you know it's almost been a full year since that first full trailer in October?
I remember that trailer so perfectly because actually I did a live reacts to it with Gnarly on his second channel because he literally was like, because neither of us, sorry, I was always excited for Scramble. He never really cared about it until that first trailer because it actually showed off gameplay. But what's so funny about it, he just asked me to come on because he's like, hey, I don't know anyone else who likes Dynasty Warriors. Do you want to just come on and talk about it? I'm like, do I? Alright, I see literally nothing but no's in the chat, but oh no, Jacket says yes, but I'm betting my sanity on it.
Oh my god. That would be great. We're almost at a year from the full trailer. We can make it to 600.
Oh, man, 600 would be like... by the way, I do know people at Atlas like listen to this show, and so like you have to imagine they have to just laugh at you, right? Because like one of the things that I can at least say this about Keith, I think he even said this in the show. If not, I remember this wasn't off the record, but it was so funny. When we were talking about the Persona 5 anime, he remembered he was not expecting. He wasn't surprised at the price announcement reaction. He was surprised that once the anime got announced, that the second largest response after the price complaint was, where's Scramble, where's Scramble? For this company who's just doing the anime. Like, my favorite is, like, do you, like, see people online who are, like, did you ever, like, see people online be like, oh, I can't believe they did the anime before Scramble? I'm like, dude, these are different companies. What do you mean?
That'd be funny. It's like, I don't think Atlas West even acknowledged that anime. Like,
no, they never tweeted about it once. That's what's the funniest part about it.
Oh my god.
They're like,
they don't want you to know.
They're like that they're like that old Filthy Frank meme, like, know your fucking place, trash. You stay where you belong. It's like, think about it like this. If Atlas West doesn't have the cojones to market or even retweet Nintendo releasing Tokyo Mirage Sessions, the GOTY of 2020, God knows they're not going to promote someone else's shitty anime adaptation.
Oh yeah, they haven't even tweeted about the Joker amiibo either. Not just like...
Yeah, the Joker amiibo was extra weird because I saw so many people I know who work at Sega and Atlas being like, hey, look, it's a amiibo of a game I worked on.
Oh my god.
Chad is saying, Spooky and Julie are saying that apparently Atlas did retweet the Western dub. If someone could find that, I would greatly appreciate it. I'll try and look at it as well. Let me go to the next question, though. Chugga chugga chugga. Oh, here's a good one for you. Also from Abby Drecker said, if you had to pick, which one is going to be worth your money more? Strikers or 13 Sentinels? If you had to pick. As someone who's not... I'm assuming you haven't played any of 13 Sentinels. Like, which one would
Nope.
you pick and why?
I feel like I kind of have to pick Strikers out of just that's the only one I've sort of played. But I'd say, how long is 13 Sentinels?
I haven't beaten it, but from what I've seen, I think it's about 35 hours or so, if not.
So it's like the same as Royal then. So yeah, I'd say depends also like if you like Dynasty Warriors more. So I'd say Strikers out of like just like out of what I've played, but I'm sure 30 if Ozzyak's promoting 13 Sentinels as much as he is, then it's gotta be somewhat good.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm in a weird spot because I've beaten Scramble, but I've not beaten Sentinels yet. I was thinking about this earlier at work. I would say if you are interested in both, and let's just say in this scenario both games are out, if you are more interested in a story, go with 13 Sentinels. If you are more interested in gameplay, go with Strikers.
There's also the weird thing of like Strikers, like a Japanese import of Strikers is gonna be like 80 at least, and then like 13 Sentinels is gonna be 60. So it's also that.
Mm-hmm. 45 hours according to Jalen Ball for 13 Sentinels. That is
really
an impressive story. Yeah, I'm still trucking my way through it, but I can definitely see that for sure. By the way, I'm trying to look up anime. Persona 5's animation by Atlas West, and like everything I see coming up is for when they were promoting the Daybreakers OVA special back in 2016.
Oh God.
Yeah, so it's been a hot minute. Next question though comes from K-Dog in the Discord, who says, with Age of Calamity coming out in a month, when do you think we hear announcements for Scramble? So we already covered that one. Mirth says, if you had to bet money on the exact release date, I would put February 26, 2021. So yeah, I ended up saying February as well. What month again were you? Because we're betting money now on this apparently with Mirth. It's a 3-way bet. So what?
I'd say January 22nd is my, like, if they're smart, guess.
Lock it in.
But that's probably not anywhere close.
Last one from the Discord by Jalia says, do you think Atlas has the bandwidth to put out more remasters and ports at a reasonable rate without having to work on one big thing at a time, like with Nocturne? I know things aren't that close to Square levels, but let's be fair, but they're far from being indie. So I kind of gave my idea of them doing 3, 4, and Q collection. But like for you, what do you kind of expect in terms of more ports and stuff like that from Atlas?
I'd say if any game's gonna get remastered next, it's probably gonna be like P3 or something, but they'll probably just port that instead. So I can see them pulling a Captain Classic and put Nocturne PS2 on PC, just because that'd be funny.
That would that would actually break my brain of like, look guys, I know it's not remastered, but hey, it's got Dante for free.
Oh my God. Yeah, I don't think they're like gonna be churning out remasters here, but yeah, I think they'll do like one at like I think they're doing like one at, like Nocturne's definitely already like finished development, so.
Oh yeah, like Nocturne, I think Nocturne went gold September or maybe even August, because Atlas usually has a thing of the game is finished in development and then about 2 months before the release date, and then they just do all of the DLC and make sure that the game is all good before they press it in the final month. Hence why Atlas games in Japan almost never get patched at all ever.
Yeah, even over here, it's just like if it's a typo or something.
Well, that's what's weird is when the fact that Scramble got ported. Sorry, Royal has been patched twice, and in Japan it never got patched at all.
Not really. I know one for like the Reaper, the thing. I think one was for.
I just like extra thought it was funny. Of like I remember I was playing Scramble, and they had a balance patch. And I was like, "What?
Oh, balance patch?
They're fixing the game?" Like I was just like, because in my brain I like thought, even though it's a Koei Tecmo game, I was like, no, they're still not gonna let them patch it. They're gonna be really weird and dumb about it. But like, nope, they let it do it. I mean, as I'm scrolling through, I see they even after, oh my god, what would it be? 3 months they patched Golden on PC to patch some extra stuff out.
That was a big update too. That was like 4 gigabytes. I'm like, what the?
Well, also I again like to remind people how absolutely unoptimized that PC version is because like there is no reason that game needs to be the file size that it is. And again, if you look at because I don't know if do you remember who the developer is who ported Golden to PC?
Wasn't it like Atlas Japan themselves?
No, everyone wants you to think it's Atlas Japan. It's actually a company who has only ever worked on VTuber models and mobile games.
Oh god.
Yeah, so like they definitely like looked for who could do this as quickly and cheaply as possible.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Also, I am continuing to scroll through Atlas's tweets, and I have not seen anything for them officially like saying, hey, the game is out, and yep, I've done all of August. So yeah, unless anyone wants to like come or like tweet at me or whatever, I could not seem to find Atlas West remembering to give a fuck about the $300 anime.
Yeah, then they dropped for $70 on the PlayStation Store.
I mean, at the very least, we have to like say what you will about Funimation. God bless them for letting me sign up for a free trial, watch that entire show, and never let anyone get any money from me.
Oh, yeah.
Well, our last couple of questions come from Twitter, who I will quickly pull up questions for. Here we go. This by Spooky says, what is your favorite song from the entire Scramble OST, if you have one?
Ooh, I haven't listened to the whole thing, but...
As you should. Spoilers in the soundtrack are very real.
Yeah. I'd say either, like, Daredevil or, like, Counter-Strike or, like... The Last Surprise remix is, like, pretty good. I'd say Daredevil would be the top.
So one of my big ones, it's kind of like a tie between Think Twice or the Persona 1 normal battle. So because there's so many like cool little like nods and stuff for it, but yeah, without like getting into like too much of stuff for it, again, if you have not played it, do not look up the soundtrack. Like it is an amazing soundtrack, but within context, it is so much better. Mirth says on Twitter, if the game was localized without a dub on release, do you think it would hurt sales?
I think it would definitely hurt sales, but I know Mirth's a big supporter of the dub. I'd still buy it either way, but
it would be like with 13 Sentinels, where I would buy it and complain that they should have just held off for the dub.
Yeah. Well, at this point, I'd take anything. Like, dope or not.
Ozzy, speaking of the Twitter trender himself and soon-to-be singer, he says, how do you feel about the unofficial... Oh, yeah, that is true. I was meaning to call you out for this. How does it feel to be an unofficial official mascot of the podcast? And then my question, how does it feel to then remove it from your title because you're so ashamed of being our mascot, I see?
No, okay, I only took it out. I can put it back now, because my bio, like, I literally had, like, 159 out of 160. Like, I gotta remove
You're
this.
maxed out, man. You gotta let everyone know where to find...
You
need to find the vent account, the vent's alt account, and then the not safe for work vent account.
Oh, God. Yeah, I can put it back now. Hold on. Do that real
on
quick.
the right side of history. Thank you, Ozzy, for correcting everything. Kyrian says, "Is there any chance that Etrian Odyssey returns to current consoles, or is it basically dead?"
I mean, they teased the new one a while ago, right? Or am I?
True, but they've also not done anything since Q2.
Yeah. I don't think it's dead per se. I'd say it's definitely in like a weird spot of like, what do we do without,
How do we make games in HD? That's actually why I've always been telling people that the Q collection's coming, because like as much as I love Etrian Odyssey, I don't think you want to jump headfirst into an HD Etrian Odyssey for their first title. I think if you just do like give those devs like a current gen dev kit and say make this, because like everyone loves Q and Q2 for the most part, so like those are like going to sell on the name of Persona alone, let alone the fact that they are actually very good Etrian Odyssey likes. So like, because as much as people love Etrian Odyssey, they can't just like port Etrian Odyssey Nexus to Switch. Like literally no one would buy it. But like Q and Q2 as a collection is like an instant sell. Like sell that for like $50 to $60. Like both of those games are stupidly long. It would be amazing.
Oh, yeah. I'd say if you're gonna do a new one, like it'd definitely be like Q3 isn't happening anytime soon, obviously, at least until like the P6 like milking session goes. But yeah, I'd say do Q collection first would be like, that's how you start it.
It's funny, I actually don't think of Q3 as ever being a possibility. Like there's no reason to say it wouldn't ever happen, but it's just like in my head, what is it? In my head, I always just kind of think of Atlas doing things of like Devil Survivor 1 and 2. Do those twice. Dancing 3, 5, and 4. I think of those as like 2 games, even though they're technically 3. So just like stuff like that. Oh, thank you, Foz. I assume this is the Deem I just got. Message request. Look all the best. And we're looking at the loading tweet.
Oh God.
Which will not. This be a great way to have the not safe for work stuff come up on the show. Yeah, they did retweet it July 5th. Oh, okay. It was because I'd scrolled all the way through August. I was thinking that they retweeted when the show was out. Yes, they retweeted the reveal trailer from July 5th. You are correct.
Yeah.
But then Atlas West, just like us, saw the price, and then they were like, "Whoa! Well, it'd look bad if we unretweeted, but let's just like not market this ever again for them."
You think anyone at Atlas West like looked at that price and said like?
I know people
yeah.
who voice acted that show and looked at the price and said, "Ooh, yeah." Ooh, you sure about that? 300? All right. That's like my favorite part about the show being 300 is, remember, it's 300 on sale, because if you go like look at Right Stuff, they're like, God, normally it's 400, but just for you.
Like, give you a deal with that,
yeah.
too.
It's like, thanks. Like, not only did you like shank my back, but you gave me a hand job after, I guess. Thanks, I guess.
Has anyone even bought it? That's a good question. Have you seen anyone buy this?
Wow, that's really, really good point. I've not seen a single person like, I haven't even seen like hardcore like people be like, "We got it, boy." Because like if you looked at the set is so lazy. Like they didn't even make like a nice case. They just stuck 2 Blu-rays in like a black DVD case, and they're like, "There you go." Oh my God, that's. Yeah, wow, that's funny. I should hunt that down and see if anyone's bought it. That's, oh my gosh. All right, well, while I look for that, if you'd like to answer our next couple of questions from Persona Fanboy, this first one is your favorite SMT or Persona game and why?
My favorite for Persona, I'd say 3 is my favorite, just cause like I don't know, that was the one I played last, so maybe it's just like, like I've seen 5 and 4 before, but like I just like the story and like the setting of P3 the most, like the characters and stuff. Like I think like objectively P3 is like, I wouldn't say the worst, but like definitely not the best. So that's my Persona. And then SMT, I guess I've only played 4 and 4A, but I'd say 4 is better. If
Next question by him is, what is your favorite persona or demon?
favorite demon, huh? Really? Yeah, demon's kind of hard because like you don't really remember a lot of them because you have them for like so much short of a time.
You're either like the penis one, the vagina one, or the guy on the toilet.
Yeah, I'd say Mara just to be funny. That's my answer.
Just like I like to imagine like the Reddit version of Persona Edgelords would just be like, it'd be like, have I shown you this demon that looks like a penis? It's actually a woman.
Oh no. Yeah.
By the way, I literally can't find anybody in the chat. 64DS says, I think I saw one person on Twitter. Wow.
Oh God.
I'm looking up anything I can, and everybody's just like, nah.
I remember someone won a giveaway for it, but that's not buying it.
Yeah, even then, the delivery guy's like, that's gonna be $300. It's like, what? Oh my gosh. So next question is choo rocket, choo rocket. Question number 3 from Persona Fan is, will you expect Scramble to do well in the West, or do you think that the critics will complain saying it's not a traditional Persona game? Well, if Yakuza Like a Dragon has anything for us to say, God forbid Persona is ever mentioned in the Western media.
Oh my God, I saw that. Like, oh jeez. Yeah. I don't know. Like, we've already had like dancing games. Like, I don't think they'd mind a Warriors too much. But I think the real problem with critics is gonna be when Nocturne comes out, for obvious reasons.
I just realized something, and did I really sleep on this? Hold on. Guys, did I forget to pimp Persona 5 Volume 4 going on sale? Or is it like just about to come out? I'm looking at Right Stuff, and this just came out. If this is already out, I'm gonna feel so dumb. When did this cockamamie thing come out? Paperback, in stock. Watch it like literally came out today, and I'm just that dummy thick. Came out October 13th. We're a week behind! No one bought the Blu-ray set or the manga? Come on, guys. We gotta step it up. I gotta go to my local Barnes & Nobles tomorrow and get coronavirus for this goddamn book. Nobody tweeted about the manga? My God. We're slacking, guys. We are all slacking. We've truly let this fandom down.
I'm sorry, Spin. I just got a new job.
It's okay.
I mean, gotta get your Persona.
Juliar, thank you for being the one person to buy. Seriously, I normally get tweeted at by people who'll be like, "Look, I got the new manga." I just like so let it slip my mind. That's so weird. All right, well now I know we're going to the mall tomorrow, honey. We're going to the mall tomorrow to buy Persona books. She's shaking her head, very disappointed in me. I think it's because I forgot it. Mark, do not worry. You do not need to donate to anybody. We're all making one collective GoFundMe to buy the Blu-ray set together. Oh my God, Boo Boy says the fandom has been let down by itself for ages. We're all disappointed in ourselves for many different reasons.
I forgot that manga even existed, bro. You're telling me
that manga is great. Like, do not sleep on that manga.
Oh, yeah.
Also, guys, great news. I'm looking at it right now on Right Stuff. It is still in stock. It has one review of 4 stars, which, by the way, I love that someone bought this and, like, great show. Price was too much. But Persona 5, the animation Blu-ray, is now even cheaper than $300. So, guys, I hope you're ready.
What's it at now?
$298.98. It is even cheaper now. This time next year, it might be down to $199. I'm legitimately mad at myself that I forgot Persona came out. Oh, we have his review. All right, I'm gonna screenshot this review, and this is how we're gonna end out the show because we do gotta finish questions. Question by Boo Boy. God, look, he's popping up everywhere tonight. Any favorite childhood memories? Of course, it doesn't have to be something personal if you don't want to share.
We're talking like video games, like, whew, just like on topic of Steve, but like Minecraft was like the first like online game that I like got like really onto. It was like so funny because like I booted. When did Steve come out? Like a week ago. God. I remember like
oh
I
my
booted
god,
up
that's
Minecraft.
why we forgot. Minecraft Steve stole the spotlight because it came out a week ago. Minecraft Steve stole the spotlight of Persona 5 Volume 4.
Oh yeah. Like I booted up Minecraft for the first time in like, oh god, like a year probably.
What were you playing it on?
Yeah. Java.
The classic edition. I have a really great like Minecraft story that I could tell for, but it's really funny of like the TLDR version of it is I got into Minecraft, and I'm not even kidding, so feel free to like roast me, everybody. I got into Minecraft because I had a crush on a gothic Lolita girl in my graphic design class who was talking about a Minecraft server she was in, and I bullshitted my way into saying like, oh yeah, I play Minecraft, I'm all the time, give me your server ID and we'll play. And I went home and I had to beg my dad to buy me Minecraft Java Edition because I had no money at the time, so that I could like immediately try and learn how to play this game. And I, for about by the way, very unsuccessful with that girl. No, beyond nothing happened. But what was so funny about it was I got into a relationship with a girl long distance I met through that same class, but the girl was like, our relationship was like 90% of the time hung out through Minecraft. And just to like show how terrible of a situation this story is and don't make relationships in Minecraft, it literally ended when we were all in a group Skype chat session playing Minecraft on our server together, and one of my friends left and my long distance girlfriend at the time left, but they forgot, like they left the server but they forgot to leave the voice chat, and I just heard them like flirting with each other. So I found out my long distance Minecraft girlfriend was cheating on me with my friend I met on Minecraft through Minecraft. And I'm like, what is this game? You know what? I'm putting the game away. I don't need to play anymore. But I will say I do have a lot of like genuinely like good like memories of playing Minecraft that like when Steve got at it, I was like, oh, dude, I really want to fucking play Minecraft again. Not Java, because there's too many hoes and heartbreaks in that game, but like, yeah, I do have like a weird soft spot for Minecraft, even after all this time.
Oh god. I really wish you could check your playtime on Java, because like, oh god, I'd have like thousands at least.
Have you ever played any of the console versions?
I have the Switch version. Oh, I don't play it that much.
Shout out to the Nintendo 3DS version for just being really fucking weird.
Oh, I want to know who bought that. That's a good story.
That's gonna be someone's like great story to tell for it. Quickie easy one by Spooky 1018. Sophie or Zenkichi?
Oh, I feel like I can't answer this because I don't know Zenkichi that well, but I'd say Zenkichi's like cooler, I guess. I'd say him, even though I haven't even like really seen him yet.
Sophie's cool, but yeah, Zenkichi is like easily the coolest adult in all of Persona history, IMO. Well, one of the coolest adults. That's why, like, legit, like, I fanned out so hard at that drawing the, I always forget his name, but the guy who does Mission Mementos did the collab art of Maruki and Zenkichi taking a smoke break together. I'm like, that's like my dream. If those two like actually had a moment of like hanging out, like I would be able to die happy. Like Zenkichi's like, no disrespect to Sophie at all, but like he is just so fucking cool. Also, literally his Persona outfit, his Phantom Thieves outfit, he literally just looks like a Bloodborne hunter.
He's the only one who got an actual code name too. That is a 1-letter difference. So some points for him.
Exactly. And also, I can only imagine it is incredibly hard for any Japanese speaker to actually say his Persona's name.
Oh, I don't even know what it is. So.
I think it's a spoiler, so I won't say it. But I remember when I heard it,
I know it's like a reference to some.
Well, yeah, they all are for it. But as a theater geek, I appreciated his persona. But that is all I will say for no spoilers. Last one comes from King Narukami 45. Had 2 quick questions. Says, do you think casual players on the West will see P5S as a sequel to P5, or be confused and think of it as another spin-off?
I think this lies in Atlas West's hands. Of like, you can say
if you do it well.
Yeah, you can say it's Persona 5 too. But at the same time, they'll say, okay, why is why is there 1 billion enemies on my screen now? So, I'd say it's gonna sell either way.
I'm actually dying because of stupid chat. Sorry, is Mark Zenkichi's persona is Unga Bunga?
I'll let you know when I get to him. I'll post a follow-up to that, but yeah, I'd say it's gonna get sales either way. Of like, people already know, pretty much everyone already knows about this game just because of how quiet Atlas West is about it. But I'd say if you just throw in Persona 5 2, like, it's gonna sell instantly. So I'd say just throw in the 2 somewhere. You know how they do it in the
just Japanese. do the reverse of Final Fantasy. Persona 5 Roman numeral 2 Strikers.
Oh God. Yeah. And what was the second part?
The last part, yeah. Do you think we will see anything in the Game Awards? At least for me, as I said earlier, if I'm looking at Xbox for Scramble news, I'm looking for this from anywhere. Then.
Yeah, I'd say the Game Awards would be the best. Like you can make a sequel, not a sequel, but like you can make like a follow up to, the Joker and Smash thing. Like, I don't know, have like Futaba hack the theater or something. I don't know. But if I were to say realistically, I'd say I've had this thought for a while. I don't think it's gonna be at an event. I think they'll just like tweet about it one day. I'll just be like, hey, check this out.
That would be like the most realistic but actually depressing part of that ever. Be like, hey guys, did you hear about this Persona spinoff? This thing's looking crazy. And then just, then we just collectively come together and murder them all. Oh my gosh. So, well, before we, I cannot believe this has been going on for almost an hour and 50 minutes. Good Lord. Thank you so much for dealing with this. So, before we say our goodbyes and where everyone can find us, I hope we're all ready for the only review, and this is actually 4 days old, so this is not even that long. The only review on Right Stuff of someone who actually bought Persona 5 the Blu-ray animation. This is by Tim, verified. Subject, for fans and collectors. Here, I should get really close to the microphone. Sorry, we're going to enjoy this. I'll do my serious announcer voice. Only consider purchasing this if you have played Persona 5 the video game. If you have not played the game, you will not understand or appreciate a lot of the quirks within the series. If you have played the game, remember it takes 100+ hours to play through. The series does a great job of going through the main story, but a lot of side characters are left out or excluded. The box set itself is subpar and not high quality. Remember, by the way, this is a 4 out of 5 star review. The box set itself is subpar and not high quality, which is extremely disappointing, coming in at $300, and it was pretty bare bones. Overall, I'm proud to own this because it is such a great anime, and I'm a huge fan of the other games in the series. However, if you were on the fence about purchasing this is probably not for you. Thank you, Tim, for that very confusing review. Why did you give that 4 stars? That sounded like a 2-star review. Also, the fact that dude simps Persona 5 so hard that, like, he's like, the Persona 5 anime's only problem is it's $300, it's a bare-bone box set, but don't worry, they nail the adaptation. Whereas, like, me watching that whole anime, I'm like, this tells the story terribly. No, wait, even Tim agrees. Because Tim starts his review saying, don't buy this if you haven't played the game. If it's not good unless you've unless you've played the game, it's a bad adaptation.
That's another thing. They didn't even dub the whole thing, bro. They didn't even dub.
We got 2 episodes missing.
Valentine. Those are like the 2 best episodes too. It's just like.
By the way, shout out to Tim. If you actually end up ever hearing this, please let me know. I will apologize profusely, and also send us so we know it's actually you. Please send pictures because you might be the only person in the world who bought that Blu-ray set.
Oh god, I forgot that thing even came out, and I was like, oh yeah, came out at the end of September or whatever.
Well, that is, oh my god, that is our episode. That was quite the adventure we went on, starting from Twitter to Arena to Twitter reviews. So thank you, Happy, for coming on and talking, and thank you everyone who joined us in the live chat. It was very, very fun watching all of you guys react to us all here. Happy, how was your first podcast?
It was an experience. An hour and a half. How long was it? Oh, jeez.
Yeah, we were almost 2 hours. Welcome to podcasting this train wreck every week. Even with no news, we'll push 2 hours. Don't worry.
Oh, jeez.
Oh my god. Well, besides that, I like how at no point you let the pressure get to you. Because remember, you're coming off of us having interviewed the CEO of the company who localizes like every Persona dub ever, and you're like, don't worry, I got it, guys. Next week, we finally found a match. We're going from CEO to Twitter gimmick account. We got it, baby. Lock it in the bag.
Yeah.
Well, now that you are no longer just tweeting no or yes every day, Happy, where can people find you in your new Twitter account now that you've changed names?
Alright. What's my Twitter called? Yeah, I forgot. Okay, so follow me, twitter.com @happy0350. I post funny things sometimes. High quality content.
Anywhere else you would like people to find you and your high quality funny content?
Not really.
That's okay. The internet, not everyone wants to be me and just use their full legal name for everything online. But Happy, thank you again so much for coming on the show. If you would like to follow me or help just follow whatever weird journey we're on here, you can follow me. My personal Twitter is @Torchwood4SP. You can subscribe to the YouTube channel that you are watching this live on right now. If you are not subscribed to already, please give it a subscription if you're curious. I'm trying to do a weekly video and at least a weekly podcast. The podcast is guaranteed. I can't miss a week. I have a problem. And the extra editorial videos are just kind of frosting on the cake there, hoping to do a little bit more. Besides that, you can follow the SMTN Twitter account @SMT Network. You can join the Discord, the link below. Besides that, there's Facebook group at facebook.com/groups/SMT Network. And I think that's just about it. Was there anything else you wanted to mention, though?
No.
It literally sounded like your microphone just like imploded for a second there before the
Yeah, there's also a Discord server which you can go on.
What is the best way for us to find the Discord server?
It's in I think it's the link in my Twitter account.
Yeah. What do we call your Discord server? What's the name of the place?
I think it's called Persona 5 Strikers like waiting room. I should probably rename that.
No, dude, you gotta keep that name though. That's perfect. The waiting room. It's just like everyone's just here. What are you waiting for? I don't know, something. Everyone in there is just the kid from The Incredibles on the big wheel, just waiting for something, anything one day.
Oh.
Oh my gosh. Well, thank you again, Happy, so much for coming on, and everyone for watching live. I will see you all next week, and you will see Happy being happy, hopefully, next week. We'll let you know. We remember the countdown. We have 66 days, no pressure.
Yeah, 3 days until the year of the
year of madness.
The trailer. I think. Hold on, I gotta check this. Is it really?
I think it was in November, but you're right. It might have been October, but we will look in that in the post show. So I guess we'll just actually say goodbye here for the recorded show. So this is where we can say goodbye awkwardly. Goodbye, everybody.
Yay.
I will not let your goodbye be a yay. That needs to be a real goodbye.
Oh.
Mirth has a goodbye. Messiah says goodbye. Mark says goodbye.
See you on my funny Twitter account. Or yeah.
So someone's just gonna tweet at you tomorrow and be like, "Where's the funny?"
Where's the funny? Yeah, I'm checking it right now. Premiered October 23rd, 2019.
3 days, dude.
Ooh.
We can do a watch party. Although I will say, if they do it on the anniversary of that trailer. Wow, that's like next level shit posting. That's like next level shit posting. But before we go, and I have to start editing and posting the audio version of the show. Goodbye, everybody. Thank you for watching live. Thank you again so much. Happy, I gotta ask, where's the origin of your name? How does Let's Happy Together become a thing? There has to be a story for this.
So I made this account. Well, not account, but like I made it like, oh god, like 2015 or so. So it was like, yeah, there's this video by a funny internet man named Chad Tronic. You probably know who he is. You probably don't know who he is, but he makes like some funnies. And then there's this one bootleg Mario like bumper car, and like on the box it just says "Let's Happy Together." It's like, I'm guessing it's like a typo, like a mistranslation or something. I just thought it was funny enough to put in.
And it's lasted 5 years now.
Indeed. I don't really have a better name.
Hey, you're looking at a guy who's been using since middle school Torchwood 4SP. So hey, I understand. I know where you're coming from, man.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, well, I'm going to end the stream for realsies. So goodbye, everybody on the stream. I will see y'all next week, so enjoy that extra bonus outro. Boop. And extra boop. Waving, waving, waving.